welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing breastfeeding tips and tricks and just things that like helped me get through these first 3 months. I have Elodie with me today. I don't know how long she's going to sit here and be entertained by us, but we'll see. So I just want to start by saying I am in no way a lactation consultant, an expert on breastfeeding, anything like that. And if you have to use formula to feed your child, fed is best. So there's no hate here if you can't breastfeed or anything like that. So I just want to pop that in the beginning, just so you guys know. First, I'll start by saying that when I decided I was gonna breastfeed, I knew it was gonna be hard, but I never had any idea how hard exactly it was. It's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to endure. And if you get past those the first 2 weeks are really, really difficult, but after you get over the first 4, I feel like you can do it. So the first 2 weeks were definitely the hardest. So she was literally cluster feeding every day, all day. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I am literally just her pacifier. Like, I felt like she would not be like settled down or like just be content unless she was on my boob. And I was like, if this is how the whole year is gonna go, I don't think I can do it. But support is the biggest thing, and having support from my husband and my family, and also lactation consultants at our hospital. I booked an appointment that helped a lot, and support from friends on Facebook, even other breastfeeding moms, is always helpful. And I think that's what helped me keep going. My cousin's wife would text me like, don't give up. It gets better, I swear. So that's definitely the biggest thing, is before you start thinking about, oh, I need to get up my milk supply, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do that, it'll come naturally. Everybody had me worried that I wasn't gonna have enough milk, but it's supply and demand. So as long as you just keep putting her on your boob, even though it's not annoying, but it's draining. It definitely drains you. But if you keep doing that, you will have enough milk. So just keep at it. It's definitely hard work, but it's so worth it. The latch is the most important thing ever. And I think until about 2 weeks, when I went to see the lactation consultant in her office, she had me sit down. Zach came with me, and it was about an hour, and she weighed her before and she weighed her after, and she had me sit down, and I had brought my boppy pillow and show her how I feed her. And my latch was off, which was probably due to why my nipples were so chapped, which I'll get into later in the video. But the latch is the most important thing ever. And until I had the correct latch, I thought that's how breastfeeding was supposed to feel. It was painful. My nipples had like scabs on them. And when she sucked on them, it literally hurt. And I thought, oh, well, someone's sucking on your nipples. That just must be how it's supposed to feel. Once we got the latch down, oh my gosh, it was like, it made it so much easier for me to make the decision to push through and keep breastfeeding. Because I had no idea that it wasn't supposed to hurt. So once you get the correct latch, it's not a breeze, but it's a lot easier. Just because it doesn't hurt as bad. So whenever they latch on, literally, I thought that they would stick just like TMI, but I mean, you're watching a breastfeeding video, so you're gonna get that. But I thought they were just supposed to stick like the tip of your nipple in, you know, like that would make sense, right? No, they are literally supposed to stick your entire nipple in their mouth. So their mouth is supposed to be like wide open. And the way that I got her to get a good latch is I take my nipple and I just touch it right here at the tip of her nose, and she'll go, and then once her mouth's open, you just stick it in and she's good. Now for everybody it's different, and they have a whole bunch of different videos, and Hey! They have a whole bunch of different videos and like techniques and different kinds of latches that you can watch. But that's the one that works for me and Elodie. But definitely, I would say if it's hurting while you're breastfeeding, to definitely see a lactation consultant or look up some videos on Facebook even if you don't have a lactation consultant. So now I'm gonna talk about your nipples, which I had said a little bit earlier. The first couple weeks, my nipples were so sore, like they hurt so bad to even like for a shirt to touch them or my bra. Oh, it was horrible. So Zach actually got me these Lancelo. I think that's the brand. I'll link them below. I don't know how to say it. They were cooling gel pads, and once you open them, you could use them for 72 hours, and they kind of just stuck on your boobs, and you could put them in the freezer. Oh, she's taking a poop. So those really, really helped. And another thing that helped was the nipple butter, and I'm not sure who it's by, but I used two. I used the all natural nipple butter Zach had got for me, and then my mom had actually got me the cocoa butter, the Palmer's, I think it's the brand that makes cocoa butter, that nipple cream, and I loved both of those, so I'll link those below. But just a fair warning that those stain your shirts and your tank tops, any kind of clothing, so whenever you have them on, just make sure you put them on. Make sure if you're like not wearing a bra that you don't care about that shirt. So positions. There are tons of different positions that work for different kinds of moms, but we use two different ones. So the first one, we put the boppy on, which the boppy, if you don't have a boppy and you're breastfeeding, you need a boppy. I mean, you don't need one, but it really, really, really helps us. So the boppy, and I just like sit her in front of me, like this way, and turn her towards me and latch her on. And then the other one that we use is the side nurse, the side lay. So I lay on my bed on the side, and she lays on her side facing me, and then I stick my lower boob that's closest to the bed into her mouth. And that one is how we get any sleep around here. And that's how she basically naps. So I'll stick her on there, side nurse, and then I do the roll away, which I'll try to insert a video clip of both of the ways that we nurse. So now some things that I definitely can't live without. Like some things that you might need. So I already mentioned the boppy. The second one is like tank tops. And I was like so into like, oh, I probably need the nursing tank tops. No, I went to Walmart and I got tank tops. They were originally $1.99, and when I got up to the register, they rang up for 98 cents. And they're just tight, like spaghetti strap tank tops. And what I do is I wear them under everything that all my shirts. And then that way, if I have to nurse, I can just pull my shirt up, and then I pull my tank top down and strap down my nursing bra. Don't waste your money on the nursing tank tops. I mean, unless you want to, it's totally your preference, but I seriously just use regular tank tops that I get for cheap, and then I don't worry about them stretching out, but that's what I wear every single day. And then nursing bras. Definitely, I 100% love nursing bras. I got mine off of Amazon. They were 3 for $20, and I love them. They came in a nude, a light pink nursing bras. Definitely a must. And then I have this so I can show you. I don't know how you say it, haka? I'm not sure. But I hate the pump, which is another necessity because you really do need a pump if you're breastfeeding, just like if you get over engorged or if you're on a trip. So when we went to visit, we went on an 8-hour trip last month to visit my family at home, and I had to have the pump because I had to pump 1 or 2 times in the car. It was an 8-hour ride. So we stopped, and I was giving her a bottle the whole time. But I needed a pump, and you don't have to have a pump, but for those times when you're engorged, it's nice to have. But the haka, I don't know if that's how you say it. This thing is the the best thing ever. So I didn't like to pump to get a supply because I hate pumping. So with this thing, while she's latched onto one boob, I take this and you squeeze it and you stick it and you let go and it'll stay like squoze. And all it does is it'll eventually go all the way out and it pulls the milk from your let down out. So I will literally every day collect 5 ounces in 2 feedings. So that's how I'm getting my supply up because I hate the pump. Some of you might like it, but I can't stand it. So I'll link this below because this thing is amazing. And it's only like $8, I think. Just a couple more things. First is drink, 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 drink. So whatever you were drinking before, double, triple that. So, and I always try to make it a point too, when she's eating, I'm drinking. And I have my maternity cup from the labor and delivery, that big one with the handle and the straw. And I feel like a straw helps you drink, make sure you're drinking so much more. So I always have that with me and I probably drink 3 or 4 of those a day. And those will help with your supply a lot. So if you're dehydrated, your milk is made out of, I think, 80% water. So don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So you need to drink a lot of water. And when you think about it, your body, if you're drinking what you're supposed to drink, just if you weren't breastfeeding, think about all of the liquid that your baby's getting out of you. So whenever you think about that, you're like, oh crap, like that's a lot. So I should need to be making up for that. Eat, like my favorite meal is oatmeal. I hated oatmeal before I got pregnant, but now that have her and I read that oatmeal is like good for your milk supply, I eat oatmeal for breakfast every day. And it's like an easy snack. It doesn't take long to make and it's healthy. So I just put a little bit of peanut butter and some sugar-free maple syrup to sweeten it up and it's delicious. And my favorite thing that I wanted to share was, I'll try to insert a video clip of it as well, but I bought a cover that goes on my car seat and it can be used as a nursing cover and a car seat cover. And the first time I nursed out in public, I used it and it was so difficult. It was like restraining. So then I found, I just was out and about and I needed to nurse her and I didn't have the cover. So I took my muslin blanket and I tied 2 ends together and stuck it over my head, like a collar. And then I put it around me. That is the best thing I have ever used. And people have actually asked me when I'm out in public and using that, oh my gosh, where did you get that nursing cover? It covers you up so good and it looks like it's so breathable. And I was like, it's just a muslin blanket. And I tied a knot in it. Just because it's so big, so it can cover like all the way to the side, like behind your back, but it's breathable. So like even when it's hot outside, she can still breathe in there. She doesn't feel like she's like suffocating and it doesn't get hot under there. So that's really nice. And then my last tip of advice, you ready? What is the biggest one. The first time I ever went out and I had to breastfeed, she started screaming and I literally ran to the car, left my basket in Target and ran to the car to breastfeed her. Which I still do breastfeed in the car, but it's not that big of a deal. I literally we went home after that because I was just so frantic, like, oh my gosh, what if we're in another store and she has to eat? My biggest tip is go out and breastfeed. Breastfeed in public, who cares what people say? I don't. I always cover up, that's my preference. That's what I use the muslin blanket for. But just do it. And I still get anxious every time that I nurse, but I just don't care. I already like came up with a comeback, like, oh, if someone says something to me, I'm gonna say this back to them. No one's ever said anything to me. I've gotten a couple looks at a restaurant before, but to me, I'm covered up and you can't see what's going on under this blanket, so you might not even know that I am nursing. Or what if I'm not nursing? You don't know because you can't see. So that's my biggest thing is I don't care anymore. And once I had that mindset, which my friend from high school actually, she told me that. That's what I was talking about, support. I was like, oh, it makes me so nervous. She's like, no, you just gotta go out there and do it and just not care. And she was like, as soon as I did that, it was a breeze. And it is. So now I feel like I can go out with her and I get anxious a little bit when I know she's getting hungry, just because I know I'm gonna have to feed her. And I think about all these things like, what if someone says something to me? What if she starts screaming because she doesn't want to latch right? But I've never had a bad experience. And once I had that mindset of, I'm just gonna go out and do it, my days got so much easier. Like, we were stuck in the house for the first 6 weeks. I just didn't want to go anywhere. I was just so nervous. But now that I'll whip it out. We go out all the time. I try to go out a couple times a week while Zach's at work, just so we can get out of the house. Target is our best friend, even if we just buy a drink. That's a big thing too. Like, whenever you are breastfeeding, you are solely you and baby. So get out of the house. Like, I was getting stir crazy for sure because I was only going out on the weekends when Zach was home. So go out, whip your tit out. You can cover it up, you cannot cover it up, whatever you choose, just do it. It'll make your life so much easier. Sorry, I'm a weirdo. Sorry, I was rambling. But those are just my tips and tricks. Not saying they're gonna work for you, but I will be at the 3-month mark next week, and I'm super excited and proud of myself because like I said, I thought I wouldn't even make it to a month because I was gonna quit after 2 weeks. So I promise, if you're at that point right now, to keep going. I promise it gets better. And if it's not getting better, that's when you need to see a lactation consultant. So thanks for watching and thanks for listening to me rant. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions for me, just leave them in the comments below. Or any tips that you guys have to make my life easier with breastfeeding. I love suggestions and I love tips from other mamas. So just let me know. And I hope this video helped you, or if not, it entertained you a little bit. So thanks for watching.